Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer!
Hello,
right.
Boring Review Nation!
Kind of pointless.
We know all things.
All right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Nick here.
Jodi there.
And we are super excited for another pitch meeting reaction. Jodi, which one are we checking out today?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I say Caribbean.
I think it just depends on what you say. I feel like when people talk about this movie, a lot of them do say Pirates of the Caribbean, but when we talk about going there, we talk about going to the Caribbean.
That's probably what the difference is. One's a movie, one's an exotic place that everybody wants to go visit because of the fantastic weather.
There you go.
Fantastic people, the water, all that kind of stuff. Makes you think of cruises.
Yes. Tell us the difference. Like, how should you say it? Does it not matter? It's like tomato, tomato, Nevada, except for it's Nevada. But we are specifically reacting to Dead Man's Chest pitch meeting. And we're just going to jump right in. So if you like this video, go ahead and like, subscribe. Over 90% of you guys are not subscribing. Please subscribe. It truly helps our channel. And hit that notification bell so you can be aware of the next uploaded video.
And I personally do like the second one. It's not as good as the first one, but every time I watch it, I like it a little bit more. So let me know if you feel the same way. Here we go.
So, you have a pirate sequel for me? Yes, sir, I do. Amazing. So what's going on with the characters? Okay, so Elizabeth and Will are about to get married, right? Okay. So marriage is still a thing then. Interesting. Yeah. Why wouldn't marriage still be a thing? Well, it's just that in the last movie, they all found out that there was treasure cursed by heathen Aztec gods, so yeah. Well, I just figured that everybody finding out that Aztec gods are real might have some impact on their religious beliefs, but you're saying marriage is still totally a thing. Yeah, marriage is still a thing. Okay, great. So anyway, their wedding is actually
weird.
stopped by this guy, Lord Beckett, and he has warrants to arrest them because they helped Jack escape in the last movie. Oh, right. So he wants Will to go find Jack because Jack has this compass that points to whatever the holder wants the most. Okay, so the whole movie's about finding a compass. Well, see, actually, the compass is going to point to a key, which opens a chest, which contains a heart, which belongs to Davy Jones, who controls the 7 seas. Oh, okay, that sounds like enough nautical-themed MacGuffins to fill up a pirate movie. Yeah, I figured that would be enough checkpoints, so Will takes off, because Beckett says he'll set Elizabeth free if Will does this. He's got to find Jack in the entire sea. Yeah, and he's going to pretty quickly. Oh, he is? Yeah, because in these movies, the Caribbean Sea's the size of a little fishing pond. Oh, it is. That's great. So anyway, Jack is on the Black Pearl, and he's gonna be like, why is the rum always gone? That's like what he said in the last movie, kinda. It sure is, sir. People really like that line, so we're bringing it back, kinda. Oh, bringing a line back because people seem to really like it as tight. Yeah. Wow. So anyway, Jack gets visited by Will's father, Bootstrap Bill, who's a part of Davy Jones's crew on the Flying Dutchman ship. Okay, and Bootstrap is like, hey, you made a deal with Davy Jones years ago, so now you gotta join the crew or be taken by the Kraken monster. Both terrible options for sure. Yeah, and then Bootstrap leaves Jack with the black mark, which the Kraken is attracted to, and he vanishes back to the Flying Dutchman. Oh, this guy can teleport. I bet that's gonna come into play later. Nope. Oh, okay. And so then we're gonna see that the Kraken can take down a ship in like 2 seconds flat. Very scary. Yeah, unless there are main characters on the ship, in which case it takes 5 to 10 minutes. Nice of the Kraken to slow down for important people. It sure is, sir. So anyway, eventually Will finds the Black Pearl on this island and discovers that Jack and his crew have been captured by a tribe of cannibals. Well, how'd they get out of the cannons? No, not cannonballs. These are people that eat people. Oh, okay, gross. Yeah, and they think Jack is actually their chief. Why? Unclear, but the thing...
So I'm going to interrupt right there. As I said it before, I really like this movie. It's not as good as the first one, but then when we're going to these things, they're focusing on the things that I hated the most about the movie.
Which is his job.
the whole, like, cannibal thing that was just kind of pointless. It's funny, but it's really pointless to the story. And then, I'm sorry, but the main bad guy, Davy Jones, like, it's just, I never really cared about that character or Bootstrap. So maybe I didn't like it as much as I thought I did.
Thing is, they actually plan on eating their chief. They have this whole ceremony planned. Oh no. Yeah, and so Will and the rest of the crew get put in these bone cages suspended from cliffs. Why would the cannibals hang their food over a cliff? Because it's gonna make for a fun escape scene in this movie we're making, and no other reason. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, and so they all escape through the power of physics not being a thing, and the whole thing's gonna take up a solid 20-30 minutes of runtime with really fun action stuff. Does it move the story forward at all? Not really, no, but it's gonna take up a solid 20-30 minutes of runtime with really fun fun action stuff. Well, great. Anyway, so meanwhile, Elizabeth has escaped and she's trying to catch up with everybody because she's in the movie too. Right. And so she sneaks onto the ship and tries to get this crew to bring her to the island of Tortuga. How does she manage that? Well, she leaves a dress lying around so everybody will think there's a ghost on the ship. That's her plan, tricking people into thinking she's a ghost. That's what we're going with. And then she does some expert level puppeteering work, and it's completely dependent on nobody looking slightly upwards, because then they'd see her just standing there. I mean, there's no way that plays out perfectly, and that plays out perfectly. Oh, okay. And so then Jack and Will are gonna encounter Davy Jones and his crew, and this guy just teleports over. Oh, this guy can teleport. I bet that's gonna come into play later. Nope. All right. And his old crew is super spooky, because there's like this curse or whatever, and they're slowly becoming sea life and merging with the Flying Dutchman. What are you talking about? Well, they all have like sea stuff on them. Like one of them has a shark on his head. Davy Jones just full on has an octopus as a face. So how does that work? Did an octopus just settle on his face one day and just kind of stay there and merge with him? I don't know. Fair enough. So then Jack kind of backstabs Will and leaves them on the Flying Dutchman, but he gets to reconnect with his father, so that's kind of nice. Oh, he reconnects with his long lost, partially a fish father. That's nice. Yeah, but then Will challenges Davy Jones to a game of liar's dice. Oh, he does? Yeah, and he says if he loses, he'll join the crew, but if he wins, Davy Jones has to give him the key to the chest, which he keeps on him. Oh, very high stakes. Yeah, and so Will's father jumps in the game too and loses to save Will. Oh. And Will is like, Dad, that whole thing was just so I could see where Davy Jones keeps the key, you dummy. What if Davy Jones didn't keep the key on him? Then Will wouldn't have found anything out. Yeah, it was a massive risk to take, but it works out perfectly, as these things often do, because I write them that way. Well, I guess it'll be hard to get the key off of him now, though. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, he just walks into Davy Jones's room that night while he's sleeping and slips the key off of him. No problem. A strange man came onto his ship and specifically asked about the key that could lead to his death, and he didn't take any precautions to protect it when he went to bed. That's right. Well, fantastic. So anyway, eventually Will finds himself hiding on the front of the Flying Dutchman, which is a ship that goes underwater. Seems like that might affect him in some way. Well, it doesn't. Okay, jeez. And so eventually Jack and Elizabeth and that jerk Norrington from the last movie, they all find the chest, and then Will shows up too. How did Will get there? Oh, I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about how Will gets places, sir. Okay, let me get off of that thing, you scary person. And so this big three-way sword fight breaks out for the chest, because Norrington wants to use it to get his life back as a douchey officer, and Jack wants it to call off the Kraken, and Will wants it to release his father from the Dutchman. Seems like a couple of those goals might overlap. Maybe. So then Davy Jones and his crew show up, and Norrington manages to get away with the heart. Oh no. And so when the others get on his ship, there's gonna be this big Kraken attack, and Elizabeth is gonna kiss Jack and handcuff him to the Black Pearl. Why? Well, because the Kraken is after him specifically, so this is the only way the others can get away. Oh, that makes sense. So then Jack gets swallowed up by a Kraken, and Davy Jones gets super angry about his missing heart, and everybody else goes to see this lady Tia Dalma, who reveals she brought Barbossa back from the dead. Whoa, wait, whoa, what's happening with all of that? Stay tuned. What? Oh yeah, we're just gonna cut it off right there so people will want to come see the next movie. Just not resolving anything at all? Yeah, so people will want to come see the next movie. That's actually very smart. Oh, and then we're gonna have a post-credit scene where we find out that that dog is now the chief of the tribe. Oh, that's cute. Wait, they're gonna eat that dog, aren't they? Yeah. Oh my God. So what do you think? Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. I do think we should get somebody wacky to come in and help with the designs of Davy Jones's crew. Those people need to be weird looking. I mean, Johnny Depp's in the movie. I mean, yeah, so, you know, pretty obvious who we could get to help out.
Oh man, so I remember not liking this one as much, but I didn't like the other one either. I really just liked the first one. But I remember the ending of this one and being like, oh my gosh, we have to see the next one.
Yep.
Like, what in the world? Why is he back?
Absolutely.
Like, what is going on? And can you trust him? Can you trust him that you brought him back from the dead? Anyway, so I do remember, I feel like in the desire to bring people back, they did a good job the way they ended it. Do you want to end every film like that? Absolutely not. But you did get people to want to come see the next one.
I don't know. I mean, I know why, but I'm not sure why it affects me so much. But I still hate the part where she like kisses Jack.
Yes.
Because she does it in such a believable way. One can argue, well, that was the point. But it's all, and then of course Will sees it and he's like, what? Like you're with Jack, and then like she chains him because he's the one that the Kraken wants. Okay, fine. But then like when the Kraken takes him, right? Then everyone, including her, all hands on deck to try to save him. Like, I get you were in a desperate situation, but it just seems like so wishy-washy and back. And I'm not sure if it was this one or the third one, but like they're so like protective of him being Captain Jack or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that drives me crazy, but I still do like this movie to a certain degree. But to get to your point on the ending part, like, there's so much crazy that they make fun of that happens to get to that point. But you're right. When that happens, it's kind of done in an epic way. We're like, okay, when's the next one coming out? And I think it was like a year later it was all.
Yeah. Was this the same one where she and Jack are stuck on the island together? They're marooned there?
Well, that's the first one.
They're stuck on the island together in the first one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because that would play better.
That's where he first said, why is the rum all going?
Yeah.
Because
okay.
she burns it
yes,
up.
because she burns it up. That makes more sense because I was thinking, because I think that's why it made that kiss too more believable, because they kind of have like a little something. And she stops it right away. But even when they're on the island, you kind of feel a little bit of that tension, a little bit more on his side of just...
Well, and she kind of messes with that to get him drunk so that she can burn it up so she can make that big old smokestack for Norrington to come in.
She does play with him in that kind of a sense. But yes, it is really frustrating because poor sweet little Will.
Exactly.
But you know, I feel like that's always a go-to. Books and movies always do that.
The love triangle?
Well, and not just that,
or
but
the supposed love triangle?
There always is some type of, not always, a lot of times there's a love triangle, but there's more than often a supposed love triangle. And it's always like something that could be like a 1-2 minute conversation that can fix everything is always a thing that's never said throughout the entire book or movie until the end. And I get it, that's what makes it. But yes, I agree. That was a frustrating part. But there was so many things he brought up. And I realized he has so many lines that he says every time. Wow.
Yeah.
So many, but
Get
it's fun. Get
thing.
off my back.
Why don't I get off that thing, you crazy person? Doesn't always say crazy person. But yeah, the movie, it's frustrating, but it's entertaining. But I like it because the third one, in my opinion, is so boring and so not entertaining, except for a few sequences. And then the fourth and fifth are just completely forgettable.
I haven't even seen those.
That it's like Transformers. Like the first one's really good, you really like it. The rest of them are all garbage. And so for this one, like it's one that I don't hate as much, I guess. And you're right, that ending really kind of brings you, you're completely off board, but then you're right back on board. Because ultimately you do like Jack as a character, you like Johnny Depp's performance of it. And I mean, that's really what sells it.
Well, and I think it's bringing it back to that first one that you love so much.
Right.
So you have Captain Barbossa, who was in that first one, who was like the bad guy, and so...
You just wish they could have thought of better things than they did, but I mean... It was a ride, ladies and gentlemen. It was a ride at an amusement park that went goes like 5 miles per hour.
Yeah.
If that. Let us know what you think about our reaction to this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
Goodbye.